Stop, but first, detectives search for clues while friends remember the victims of a triple murder.
I just couldn't stand not knowing or not even visiting.
Why authorities hope a website can help crack the case. First on Fox. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hillary Hutchison.
And I'm Kevin Kawari. First on Fox tonight, new information in the hunt for a killer who murdered a mother and her two kids. Deputies say the crime happened sometime Thursday night right off Bethany Boulevard and Telshire Terrace near Beaverton. As friends of Jimmy and Stephen Dang mourn their loss online, Fox 12 has learned that detectives are also searching those same web pages for clues. KPTV's David Freitas is live at the scene tonight with new information. David?
That's right. The Washington County Sheriff's Department has now assigned a detective to go through the victim's MySpace page to look for clues. Meantime, the friends they'll find on that page spent the day leaving flowers and notes here at the scene, still in shock at the loss. Tonight, the weather fits the mood of two of Stephen Dang's friends.
I don't believe it. I'm still in denial, but I know it's true, and I guess I can't stop that.
All day, friends have left flowers and letters of loss for Stephen and his brother Jimmy. Detectives say someone shot the 16 and 12-year-old and their mother Melody sometime Thursday night. Tonight, the Washington County Sheriff's Department continues the gruesome task of going through the house. They haven't released much more information, no known motive, and they still don't know who the killer is. They do think it's someone the family knew. And on Jimmy's MySpace page, at least one person connects a family member to the crime.
If someone wants to hurt him, I think that's completely wrong, and he doesn't deserve it, nor does his family.
That connection is one of the reasons the Sheriff's Department has now assigned a detective to go through this sort of digital diary to look for clues. The page also makes several references to the Crips gang, though detectives don't think the crime is gang-related. Other loose ends? Deputies say they still haven't tracked down the boy's biological father, but they do make it clear the mother's live-in boyfriend is not a suspect. Cops say he found the three bodies when he got home from a night shift. With so few clues, deputies say they have a long investigation ahead, and they're hoping the many friends now mourning the losses here can help clue them in on who or why this crime happened. Tonight, the Washington County Sheriff's Department would like to talk to anyone who knows the Dangs. They say even the smallest piece of information may help them crack this case. Live near Beaverton, David Freitas, the 10 o'clock news.
Fox 12's Most Wanted tonight is a man who robbed a bank inside a Woodburn grocery store during the evening rush. It happened at the OSU Federal Credit Union inside Safeway on North Pacific Highway. Investigators say the robber threatened the teller and demanded money. He then took off with the cash and was last seen headed east away from the store. The suspect is described as white, around 50 years old, with grayish hair. He's also believed to be about 5'9" and 160 pounds. If you have any information, call Woodburn Police.
A Portland man is facing arson charges tonight after police say he started a fire at an apartment complex in Gresham. Police arrested James Sample just before 1 o'clock this morning. The fire broke out a few hours earlier on Southeast 162nd. No one was hurt. After crews knocked down those flames, investigators say they found evidence that linked Sample to the arson. Sample is being held on $55,000 bail. Well, rummage sale shoppers at the Expo Center today got a bit of a scare after authorities thought there might have been a gas leak nearby. The building wasn't evacuated, but several emergency crews were called out to the scene after people reported smelling natural gas. After an investigation, authorities say a nearby company called Harbor Oil was burning off old oil and then recirculating it. That put off the natural gas smell. There was also some water bubbling out of Marine Drive, which some people initially thought could be natural gas.
Family and friends of a missing Vancouver woman passed out thousands of flyers today. They met this afternoon at the Elmers in Vancouver, where Nova D'Acquisto was supposed to meet a man for coffee. She met that man through an online dating site, we're told. That was on Tuesday morning, the last time anyone saw Nova. Now the Vancouver Major Crimes Unit is investigating her disappearance, and her family can't help but think the worst.
Yeah, you close your eyes and you see bad things, you know. Today's opening day of hunting season, you know. Did somebody take her to the woods and a hunter's going to find her body or her car?
The missing woman did call work on Tuesday to say her 1991 Dodge Dynasty had broken down in Portland. No one has seen or heard from her since. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Vancouver Police Department. A 7-year-old Washington girl missing for 6 months is back with her father tonight. Brittany Ard and her dad were reunited in Ohio this week. Police say the girl's mother interfered with custody arrangements and moved the child to the Cincinnati area. Authorities say Regina and Carrie Teal used a fake name to enroll the girl in school. Her teacher says several things tipped her off.
The big key thing was the fact that her mother was dyeing her hair. That is not normal for a first grader.
Detectives say when they went to the Teals' home, they found packed suitcases and believe the family was ready to take off at a moment's notice.
He was free for years on a technicality, but a Salem man is now looking at spending the rest of his life behind bars. This week, Terry Dean Davis was convicted of killing his daughter, Cherish Eklund. The 15-month-old died in 2002, but the first trial was canceled because of a problem with the jury. Davis was brought back before a judge last month and will have to spend at least 25 years in prison before even being eligible for parole. Court documents may be shedding new light in the death of a Gresham man. Police arrested Casey French on Thursday for murdering his brother, Austin French. According to court documents, Casey told police he shot his brother 4 times in the head because he planned to steal money and drugs from him. 17-year-old Casey was at a juvenile detention center, but he was charged as an adult. Casey had been living with his brother and his brother's fiancée for about a year.
Well, the rain is sure coming down in our area, and there's plenty more on the way. Drivers had a tough time seeing the road out there while heading down Interstate 5 tonight, thanks to those downpours. The weather also forced one car to pull off the road. Also, people walking through Pioneer Courthouse Square in downtown Portland had to have an umbrella to avoid the soaking. Fox 12 meteorologist Drew Jackson joins us now to tell us where the rain is coming down right now, right this second, right, Drew?
Yeah, Hillary, I should say. On our live radar, you can see that it is beginning to wind down in the Portland metro area, also along the I-5 corridor, but still coming down quite heavily to the east, up into the foothills of the Cascades. You can see the motion over the last hour. Zoom in close here to the Mount Hood area from Zigzag along Highway 26 through Government Camp. Still raining hard. Sandy, though, you're starting to get out of it. Portland area, a patch right here along Highway 26 and through, say, the Lake Oswego area along Interstate 5 as well. Sliding a little farther south, not much going on in Salem at the moment. Rainfall totals very impressive, close to an inch in central sections of the Willamette Valley. Newport, about 1.5 inches. Sliding a little farther to the north, you can see McMinnville, 1.1 inches. And in the immediate metro area, anywhere from about 6/10 at Vancouver. This is 24 hours ending at 9 o'clock this evening, to about 1.26 inches at Canby. Look at Mount St. Helens, 5.1 inches of rain there in the last 24 hours. So just a soaker. We're not done yet. More rain on the way, more heavy rain on the way. Details about that later on.
All right, Drew, and stay tuned to Fox 12 Oregon for continuing coverage of our weather. We will have your full forecast later on in this show, and of course we'll have the latest update tomorrow on Good Day Oregon Sunday. You can always get your forecast at kptv.com.
Only on 12, a Hillsborough woman says she's stuck with $100 in fake cash and her own bank gave it to her. KPTV's Stephanie Kralovich has the story from our newsroom tonight.
Kelly Woods says the fake money was not quite as green as real money, but she says the difference was so subtle she never would have noticed. It wasn't until she went to a gas station and the attendant used a counterfeit detector pen on the $100 bill she paid with that she realized she'd been carrying fake cash.
The face, when you hold it up into the light, it's crooked compared to another $100 bill.
Kelly Woods says she picked up this bogus Benjamin when she cashed her paycheck at the Hillsborough Bank of America branch on Cornell. She says she had no idea what had happened until after she had had her car filled up at a nearby gas station.
It was very embarrassing because there was a long line. They're holding the $100 bill up into the light and telling me I had counterfeit money and asked me if I had real money to pay for it.
Woods says when she went back to the B of A to report what happened, employees there told her she couldn't get a new 100. The fake one first has to be sent to the FBI for further examination.
If it's fake, I'm out the $100. If it's real, if the chemicals are bad, then I'll get my money back.
A Bank of America spokesperson says, quote, once a customer leaves the bank premises with cash in hand, it becomes their responsibility and the bank has no further obligation regardless of the circumstances.
If you went to a store or somewhere else, then it can happen. But going to a bank, you shouldn't have to test your money.
Wood says from now on, she'll double check what she gets when she cashes her check.
I never thought you had to worry about that with a bank, but I would definitely check my money now, and I'll never get hundreds again, or 50s. I'll probably get all smaller bills.
A representative from the Bank of America corporate office in Los Angeles tells us the bank is unable to offer a replacement or compensation in a situation like this one. Reporting from the newsroom tonight, Stephanie Kralovich, the 10 o'clock news.
Some parents in Sherwood say they're concerned about sending their kids off to school on Monday after someone reportedly wrote a threatening message on the wall of a boy's bathroom. A student found the message at Sherwood Middle School on Thursday. Some parents were told about the threat through email. The message reportedly said, "Everyone will die on Monday." However, Sherwood police say they're not concerned about any violence and they don't plan on stepping up any security.
Well, school spirit may have gotten a little out of hand in Rainier after authorities say some students prepped for the big game by vandalizing their rivals' turf. Early Friday morning, vandals spray painted the front of Clatskanie High School and their football stadium. Authorities say the property was covered with anti-Clatskanie and pro-Rainier messages. Both schools' football teams were undefeated as of last night and vying for the #1 position to the state playoffs. Rainier's principal says he knows who the vandals are and has been talking with the students about how they will make up for their actions.
The 10 o'clock news is just getting started.
A major military magazine is asking for a big change in the war on terror, why it wants Donald Rumsfeld out of the Pentagon.
Alert. Bojack stolen vehicle contact received.
Could this black box save your car? How local police are going high-tech to catch thieves.
Will college-age voters sway your vote 2006? Why a record number of young people heading to the polls could change the face of Congress.
And some grunting at the gym has one man looking for another place to lift. How his noisy workout got him kicked out of the weight room. That's coming up in the Fox 12 Final Cut.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local. Stormy weather in Fox 12's forecast. What it means for rain on the valley floor and snow in the mountains. For first live local weather, watch Good Day Oregon Sunday tomorrow morning at 6.
So, you're ready to let fly with your vote. Measures 41 and 48 may sound appealing, but guess what? Instead of limiting the influence of lobbyists and special interests, you end up hitting our schools. You'll hit seniors, and you'll hit public safety. Unintended consequences? You bet. These are complicated measures, and just like a boomerang, they'll come back to hit you right where you live. Vote no on 41 and 48.
Wake up to an entire year of savings with Comcast. For just $33 a month, get America's #1 high-speed internet with McAfee security, enhanced cable TV with on-demand, or Comcast digital voice with unlimited nationwide long distance and 12 popular calling features. That's right, only $33 each per month for 12 months. Subscribe to 1, 2, or all 3. It's your choice. Get ready to save. Call 1-800-COMCAST by Tuesday for one of our best offers ever.
Rabies is on the rise in Oregon. We'll tell you what this means for you and your pets if you want to avoid it on the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
The moat will be stocked with rainbow trout. On summer evenings, the ceiling of the bowling alley will open, revealing the southern sky. Now over here, we will have a petting zoo. Plumbing will run down this wall and connect to the polo field and to the vineyard.
Lottery games are based on chance and should be played for entertainment only, not investment purposes.
Oregon's waited a long time for results from Ted Kulingoski. But Ted's time is up. Newspapers call Kulingoski a no-show governor who has not stepped up to lead. Ron Saxton will change Oregon with education reform, more money into classrooms, a focus on results. He'll hold the line on taxes, cut waste, control spending, with leadership, not partisanship. Kulingoski won't make the changes Oregon needs, but you can. Ron Saxton for governor.
Peter Griffin here to tell you about the return of Fox Sunday with a little help from our highly paid movie trailer announcer.
Fox Sunday's all new in November with The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Then,
will American Dad be tricked into switching parties?
I'd like you to meet my partner.
Partner?
what are you guys, synchronized swimmers?
Sunday at 7 on Fox 12 Oregon.
In the fight for Iraq tonight, a decision in the trial of Saddam Hussein is expected soon, and security forces in Baghdad are on high alert. Checkpoints have been set up throughout the capital, and the country has set a curfew. Saddam faces either the death penalty or life in jail, prison that is. The biggest fear for many is that Sunni Muslim extremists, Saddam's fiercest supporters, will step up their bloody attacks.
The doors of the hell will be open in Iraq and the neighbors of the Arab neighbors of Iraq.
If Saddam is sentenced to death, he will automatically be granted an appeal, so it could be months before his fate is known. Meantime, in other parts of Iraq, violence continued. A barrage of mortar shells struck a power station in Basra. The mortars also hit a nearby home, hurting 4 Russian engineers. And in central Baghdad, a roadside bomb exploded near a U.S. convoy. No one was killed.
In the war on terror tonight, a military newspaper says Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld should be fired. The editorial says Rumsfeld has lost credibility with troops and that his strategy has failed. It will appear Monday in 4 weekly newspapers that serve the U.S. military. The Pentagon downplays the criticism, calling it, quote, old news. They say commanders in the field remain committed to their mission. A spokesman says President Bush is shrugging off the criticism. The newspapers are sold on military bases and delivered to subscribers worldwide.
Now to Your Vote 2006 tonight, where many of the state's Democrats showed up in Northeast Portland to rally one last time before Election Day. Governor Ted Kulongoski gave state Senate candidate Paul Evans a big send-off tonight before he's deployed to Afghanistan. Kulongoski hosted the event at his campaign headquarters on Northeast 7th Street. Other Democrats, including Senator Ron Wyden and U.S. Representatives David Wu and Darlene Hooley, were among those saluting the departure. Kulongoski will take a break from the campaign trail tomorrow. He'll be speaking at a memorial service for a fallen soldier in the Dalles. Republican candidates say thanks but no thanks to help from the White House. A state poll shows Oregon voters are part of a national anti-Republican trend. So candidates are distancing themselves from President Bush and avoiding the Republican Party. They hope to swing voters that way. Republican candidate for governor Ron Saxton promises to show independence from what he calls the mess in Washington. This independence also means, he says, saying no to visits from anyone from the White House, including the president. An Oregon Senate candidate is leaving for Afghanistan just days before Election Day. Again, as we mentioned, Democrat Paul Evans is in the National Guard, and again, he will ship out tomorrow for 2 months. Now tonight, although he made a final stop on that campaign trail that we showed you right there for Governor Kulongoski, he is ready to go.
Afghanistan. And it's an opportunity for me to say thank you to everybody that's here. And it's one last time to try to get people motivated for the campaign and to come together as a family and say we can do it.
Now his opponent Jackie Winter says she's confident she'll keep her Senate seat, but she says she also wishes her opponent a safe journey home. Evans will be back from Afghanistan before the legislative session opens in January.
They're breaking off from years of voter apathy and say they're ready for a change in the political climate. A new survey says a record number of young voters plan to cast ballots in this year's election. And if the 18 to 24-year-olds live up to that promise, they could sway the results in close races. Among the survey's findings, 60% of young people believe the country is on the wrong track. Only 18% say it's headed in the right direction. Also, 41% want Democrats to control Congress, versus 25% who favor Republicans. The survey of more than 2,500 young people found that 32% plan to vote next week. The previous record turnout for a midterm election was set in 1982 when 26% participated. And with just a few days until Election Day, stay tuned to Fox 12 for all the latest on Your Vote 2006. We'll have an update tomorrow morning on Good Day Oregon and again tomorrow night on the 10 o'clock news. All the election information you can find available on our website, kptv.com.
In news from around the Northwest tonight, a man from Klamath Falls is facing attempted murder charges for allegedly stabbing another man with a sword on Halloween. Eddie Hayes is in the Klamath County Jail tonight. Authorities say Hayes came up behind the victim, John Persinger, and slashed his thigh with the sword. Hayes says apparently he got the sword out of a box that was used as a decoration inside the house. Sheriff's deputies say Persinger lost a lot of blood, but he is expected to recover. At this point, investigators don't know why Hayes allegedly attacked Persinger. Seattle Center's monorail will likely be back on track soon, but it will only carry a limited number of passengers at a time. The 44-year-old line has been idle since August after 2 separate mishaps. No one was hurt in those. The train just stalled out. Before that, though, it had been shut down for 9 months for collision repair. Now the mayor says the monorail will be up and running before Christmas.
The rise in the number of cases of rabies here in Oregon have both animal and human health officials worried tonight. So today, animal shelters in the Tri-County area offered low-cost rabies shots for pets. KPTV's Marilyn Deutsch reports tonight from the Fox 12 newsroom.
In Oregon, the number of bats testing positive for rabies has more than doubled in the last year. Protecting your family from rabies means first protecting your household pets. Emma Trout doing just that today, bringing in a quartet of dogs and cats for rabies vaccines. Typically, rabies is spread from bats to cats or dogs. The chain continues on to humans when someone is bit or scratched or even just comes into contact with the saliva of a rabid animal.
Like my grandkids and stuff when they're over, because every once in a while my cats like to take and scratch my grandkids, and it keeps them safe.
Oregon hasn't had a human rabies case in 15 years, and we don't want to. The infectious viral disease is deadly. Another problem, vets say, more and more people mistakenly think it is safe to touch bats with their bare hands.
That's one of the things that we'll remind people not to do, is when they see a bat and it looks like it's sick, leave it alone, let nature take care of it.
Nationally, twice as many cats as dogs get rabies, in large part because dogs are required to get the vaccines, while cats usually are not.
With my cats, they like to go outdoors at times too, and I've had them for too many years. They're my babies. I've got to protect them.
In Oregon, Multnomah County is the only county that requires that both dogs and cats be vaccinated for rabies. The fine if you fail to get those rabies shots for your pets can be $100. In the Fox 12 newsroom, Marilyn Deutsch, the 10 o'clock news.
It's a multi-million-dollar order that is supposed to protect millions of Americans.
But there are some major problems tonight with the anthrax vaccine. We'll tell you why government officials are so worried in our Health Watch.
Also, it's not just an extracurricular activity. Now your child's after-school sport could cost you extra big bucks. We'll explain.
Well, the rain has stopped, for the moment anyway, at the Portland airport. 58, still very, very mild outside. Not much wind after being very blustery earlier today. Here's a look outside right now. Yes, it's mild. There's still some rain scattered around. The rain is only going to increase as we head through the next couple days, and we'll see if the snow level is going to drop at the Cascades, too, coming up.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
It's the 17th annual Holiday Food and Gift Festival. This Friday through Sunday at the Oregon Convention Center. Holiday gifts, decorations, arts and crafts, gourmet food tasting. It all happens this Friday through Sunday at the Convention Center. A Portland tradition, you'll love it.
Here's what respected Oregon newspapers say about Measure 42 to ban the use of credit information in insurance.
The McMinnville News-Register says Measure 42 is a bad idea that will raise insurance rates for people with good credit to subsidize others.
The Eugene Register Guard says 42 is poorly written and full of unintended consequences.
The Hillsborough Argus warns that premiums could go up for the 60 to 70% of Oregonians with good credit.
The Bend Bulletin says we don't want to pay more for insurance. No on 42.
The biggest RV sale of the year is here. The 48th annual Portland Metro RV Show, November 8th through November 12th at the Expo Center. Save thousands with special incentives on new 2006 RVs. Just imagine where it might lead.
On the next Stargate SG-1.
Where is the false god, Ball?
A vicious war criminal is hunted down on Earth.
Allow us to assist you in apprehending Ball.
We are past the point where our differences can be settled so readily.
Leading SG-1 to defuse two foes.
So all we have to do is find Ball before they do.
You should know that I've placed a Nequita bomb somewhere in the United States.
Or risk a reign of terror.
Colonel, did you find the bomb?
The bomb is the building.
On the next Stargate SG-1.
Saturday at 6 on Fox 12 Oregon.
Still tonight, Sue makes a Fox 12 final cut. It's not illegal, but it may be annoying enough to get you kicked out of the gym. Are you a power grunter?
Students making the grade by making their D's into A's, the report card hacking scam.
And the doctor is out. Why Doogie Howser says it's time to tell all. That's all coming up in the Fox 12 final cut.
Man, this thing is smunchy. Smunchy? Soft, melty, crunchy. It's smunchy.
I'm thinking Craffelty. Crunchy, soft, melty.
No, it's more of a crunchy, chewy, cheesy. Crunch-oo-easy.
Nice.
I know. Knuckle me. Thank
Nice.
you.
Oh, okay, I'll just...
Taco Bell's Cheesy Gordita Crunch. Warm flatbread covered in 3 melted cheeses, wrapped around a crunchy taco and topped with a zesty pepper jack sauce. It's a textural taste sensation. To get crunchy, chewy, and cheesy, think outside the bun.
He brought our schools back from the worst funding crisis in decades, moved millions of dollars from administrative overhead into the classroom, and increased college scholarships 30%. Ted Kulangoski. Nobody fights harder to improve our schools. His education enterprise plan will mean smaller class sizes, better teacher training, and up-to-date textbooks, and it'll finally guarantee stable funding for schools. Ted Kulangoski, Other politicians get more attention, but no governor gets more done.
In tonight's Health Watch, a new study finds many young people aren't using condoms, and it's not because they can't get them. Researchers found social and cultural factors are key reasons for the unsafe sex. They found some associated condom use with a lack of trust, while others thought it implied something about a person's experience sexually. Also, appearance or how well partners knew each other factored into the decision to use or not to use a condom. Some major problems to report tonight on plans for a new anthrax vaccine. The program is reportedly behind schedule. The government is paying California-based VaxGen $877 million to develop 75 million doses of the vaccine. But VaxGen announced Friday that the vaccine trial is on hold and won't make this month's deadline. They're delaying the shots for the third time. The Food and Drug Administration is behind the stall because it's worried the vaccine would lose its potency during the trials.
Well, the steady heavy rain starting to break up into showers. There's quite a bit more heavy rain coming, though. We'll show you that in the 7-day forecast after the break.
Plus, police say this black box is giving them directions to stolen cars, and it could work for your car, but it comes at a price. We'll explain.
Police say a bank robber should have used a better getaway car. Why they didn't have a hard time catching up to the suspect in the final cut.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Looking for a great local job? Here are a few Northwest jobs from Fox 12 Oregon, powered by JobDango.com. U.S. Funding Group is hiring a mortgage and investment specialist, position located in Vancouver. City of Portland is hiring a wastewater operations specialist, position located in Portland. And City of Oregon City is hiring a municipal court manager, position located in Oregon City. For details on these local jobs and thousands more, or to advertise your jobs, go to KPTV.com and click on Northwest Jobs at the left side of our homepage.
Oregon's waited a long time for results from Ted Kulongoski. But Ted's time is up. Newspapers call Kulongoski a no-show governor who has not stepped up to lead. Ron Saxton will change Oregon with education reform, more money into classrooms, a focus on results. He'll hold the line on taxes, cut waste, control spending, with leadership, not partisanship. Kulongoski won't make the changes Oregon needs, but you can. Ron Saxton for governor.
Our commitment is to be everything to everyone looking for a good night's sleep.
We have the best prices from entry level to ultra luxury.
Innersprings, foam, air beds, latex, memory foam, or adjustable beds, no one beats our price, quality, service, or selection.
We challenge any dealer, anytime. Mattress World's hard-to-find locations will save you money.
It's not too late to sleep like a baby. Mattress World.
If we can't beat any price on any comparable mattress, then the mattress is free.
Salem is one of the nation's top cities for car theft, but police hope to change that. We'll show you what they installed in their cars to keep yours safe.
Is tonight a pizza night or a taco night? Why not have both? Introducing the new Taco Grande Pizza from Papa Murphy's. It's fresh dough layered with refried beans and salsa. Then we pile on 100% real mozzarella and add seasoned ground beef, Roma tomatoes, green onions, and black olives. Then we top it off with aged cheddar cheese. Now it's only $9.99 for a large, which makes any night pizza and taco night. Handmade in our kitchen, home baked in your oven. That's Papa Murphy's.
Don't forget soap.
Scrub, scrub, scrub. Yes, Mom.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Got steel wool?
Yeah.
Good.
Looking for creative ways to save energy? Northwest Natural can help with web tools and tips on how to conserve gas and lower your monthly bill. So you don't have to go to extremes. Learn more at nwnatural.com.
Live streaming video of election night coverage only on KPTV.com.
What makes Jack Roberts the best choice for Oregon Supreme Court? Twice elected Oregon Labor Commissioner, he expanded family leave for more parents, made it easier for teenagers to find jobs, and stood up for property rights. As a judge, he'll enforce the law and Constitution, not his personal beliefs, and will protect the rights of crime victims and their families. Jack Roberts for Supreme Court. Qualified, independent, and fair.
Stealing cars just became a lot tougher in one Oregon city known for auto thefts. And as KPTV's Pete Ferryman reports, technology is playing a key role.
Detective Tim Holm is going hunting.
Alert. LoJack stolen vehicle, contact received.
And he's following a trail of beeps and tones.
But you could hear it getting a little more intense.
The tones come from a LoJack tracking system recently installed in a half-dozen Salem patrol cars. It works by tracking a radio signal hidden inside a stolen car. And the technology has already paid off.
On the 29th of September, we had an activation, and it took us 34 minutes from the time that we got the first notice until we had the vehicle recovered and 2 suspects in custody.
Salem could use the technological help. It's considered one of the car theft capitals of the country, with about 2 cars stolen every day. But to take advantage of the technology, car owners have to pay. It costs about $700 to install a basic transmitter in your car, but more bells and whistles are available, like the early warning system.
If the owner's away from the vehicle and the car moves, it will immediately send a signal to one of 5 different communication devices that the owner has designated, telling the owner that the vehicle is moving.
The target for Detective Holm in this demonstration, a silver Dodge Stratus.
And now I'm on top of him.
And it turns out to be easy prey.
So there he is.
Pete Ferryman, the 10 o'clock news.
And the LoJack Corporation is now working with other law enforcement agencies in our area in an effort to get more of those systems installed and, of course, to sell more of the product.
Well, this might make you cringe. You may not be ready for it, but there are only 50 more shopping days left until Christmas. Can you believe it? Organizers with the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation hope gift givers will take time to remember the children in need who also have holiday wish lists. The toy drive kicked off at locations all across the country yesterday. Locally, Toys R Us in Clackamas launched the Million Toy Drive weekend to help boost donations. Some say the annual drive has become a tradition for their families.
We donate every year to teach our child about being a good person, to help other people that are not as well off as we are.
The Toys R Us drive continues through tomorrow. Organizers say there are 13 million children living in poverty in the U.S., and the Toys for Tots program aims to bring as many gifts as possible to those children during the holiday season.
And this weekend's weather and the weather to come is a reminder that season is approaching.
You know, one thing I noticed here past couple of days ever since the rain's kicked in, how dark it is.
Yes.
During the day. I had to turn on all the lights inside the house at high noon, so it's gloomy outside, and well, 'tis the season, unfortunately. More rain on the way. Here's a look outside right now. Of course, it's dark out now here. I was talking specifically about when it was daytime, seeing how dark it has been with all the clouds and the rain around. Live look outside Willamette River right now. Not much wind. It was very blustery earlier today, but the wind has calmed down. The rain still falling in places. Here's a look at it on live radar, and most of it now banking up against the Cascades. A lot of the Willamette Valley finally getting a break here this evening. Just showers here, mainly from I-5 west, but farther to the east, yeah, that rain still falling heavily into the Cascade foothills, Detroit area along Highway 22 there, getting some steady rain, and it's finally starting to break apart a bit in the Mount Hood area right now as well. All right, we'll zoom in a bit closer here to the Portland metro area. West of town, just some light scattered showers now along Highway 26 and up into the West Hills. Also along Highway 30 here, downtown Portland getting a light shower at the moment. And farther to the east, light to moderate shower lifting to the north here, getting ready to cross the Columbia River and head into Clark County. All right, here's a look at the wider view. Satellite radar picture backed it up to 10:30 this morning. You can see the onslaught of all the rain in the yellow and the green on the map, and there's kind of a back edge to the steady rain here, which is going to continue slipping farther south. Central and eastern Oregon, you're getting into a bit of the light rain. You won't have the heavy rain that folks west of the Cascades had, but north of this line here, the showers will continue tonight, but it won't be nearly as steady or heavy as what we had earlier this evening. 58 very mild at PDX, 58 Salem, Astoria's at 56, Redmond 54, farther east, mostly in the 40s. All right, we've got a line of storms here taking aim at the Pacific Northwest. Here's the one moving through tonight. Again, a lot of it slipping a little farther south temporarily, but this one, very significant. That is going to be with us tomorrow night into Monday, even continuing into Tuesday. That one's going to drop a very, very heavy amount of rain. You can see here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, Northwest Oregon actually getting a bit of a break, but by tomorrow afternoon, the next system begins to move in here, and showers and rain and heavy rain and wind is likely beginning tomorrow night. And the heaviest batch of rain looks to be Monday evening into Tuesday morning. How much rain? Well, a lot. And here's a look at the rain forecast as projected by our computer model here. And I'll run the clock through time all the way until Monday evening. Now we'll take a look at what some of these colors represent on the legend. Coast range, perhaps close to 6 inches of rain between now and Monday evening. Also up towards the Mount St. Helens area, perhaps more than 6 inches. And in the Willamette Valley, could see at least 2 inches of rain. Snow level stays very high in the coming days, but finally starts to drop in the Cascades to bring some new snow by Wednesday. First live local forecast details. First for the coast, high temperatures close to 60. Very windy tomorrow night. A high wind watch already up for that, and it will stay windy through Monday there as well. Willamette Valley, lots of rain beginning in the afternoon tomorrow. Somewhat drier in the morning, though. Temperatures in the low 60s, still very mild tomorrow afternoon. Some scattered showers, likely central and eastern Oregon. Breezy and mild, highs in the 50s to near 60 everywhere. Increasing afternoon rain, Cascade snow level jumping way up there to 9,000 feet. Portland metro area forecast here. A few morning showers. That's the story for the nighttime hours tonight as well. 60 degrees tomorrow's high. Rain increases again tomorrow afternoon. The wind starts to pick up tomorrow evening again as well. West of town, overnight lows only 50s tonight. Low 60s for highs tomorrow. The wind picking up tomorrow afternoon there as well. Gorge wind picks up tomorrow afternoon east side of town. Rain arrives in the afternoon. Also, 7-day forecast here shows a stormy day Monday and quite warm with the rain. 65 with the inches of rain falling, and then down to 58 Tuesday. Some mountain snow showers continue Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe a break later Thursday into Friday, and some cooler conditions as well. More rain, though, as we look ahead into next weekend. Stephanie's in tomorrow morning with the forecast beginning at 6.
The final cut gets results faster as police say some high school students find a shortcut to straight A's. This teen thought he'd found a shortcut to his first million before his customers caught on to the scam. And playing Doogie Howser gave him a shortcut to TV stardom. Now the actor behind the teen doctor is revealing a secret. We're not taking any shortcuts here on the 10 o'clock news. First, live local.
One of these letters is dangerous because it's the government-mandated notice of a teen's pregnancy being delivered to an abusive parent. Measure 43 sets up an automatic required notification to parents with no exceptions for rape or even incest. It puts at-risk teens in greater danger. No counseling, no protection, just an impersonal and dangerous letter sent in the mail. Measure 43. It's not so simple, and it's definitely not safe.
Your next dream home is just a mouse click away. Log on to KPTV.com. Click on Northwest New Homes. There, you'll find new homes for Portland and Southwest Washington. Brought to you by D.R. Horton.
Wake up to an entire year of savings with Comcast. For just $33 a month, get America's #1 high-speed internet with McAfee security, enhanced cable TV with on-demand, or Comcast digital voice with unlimited nationwide long distance and 12 popular calling features. That's right, only $33 each per month for 12 months. Subscribe to 1, 2, or all 3. It's your choice. Get ready to save. Call 1-800-COMCAST by Tuesday for one of our best offers ever.
Come see for yourself. You know the place. That's Bruce Chevrolet in Hillsboro, a name you can trust.
Pumping iron could get you in trouble if you're not hush-hush about it. Find out why you better button your lip while you work out. Coming up in the Fox 12 Final Cut.
The refrigerator that we have an energy saver.
I look forward to the day when I can actually take care of not only the environment, but also my electricity bill, because those things are going to get pretty high soon.
I noticed first how an energy saver works because I got it on an air conditioning window unit, and suddenly I wasn't spending a fortune.
I guess it's one of those things that that Mom taught us, just don't be wasteful.
The price you pay isn't always in the price tag. We have energy-efficient appliances that can save you hundreds. Sears.
Carsoup.com is the only automotive website where you can get local prices on actual vehicles from local dealers. Find daily specials on new and used worth thousands. Current rebates, incentives, more ways to get the lowest price. Carsoup is one serious website for serious shoppers who want to save serious dough. Seriously. Smarter search, better results. Carsoup.com. With all these great dealers on Carsoup, finding your next vehicle is easy. Just pick and click. Carsoup.com.
He brought our schools back from the worst funding crisis in decades, moved millions of dollars from administrative overhead into the classroom, and increased college scholarships 30%. Ted Kulingoski. Nobody fights harder to improve our schools. His education enterprise plan will mean smaller class sizes, better teacher training, and up-to-date textbooks. And it'll finally guarantee stable funding for schools. Ted Kulongoski. Other politicians get more attention, but no governor gets more done.
Stand by the final cut in 3, 2, 1, cue 'em.
The final cut begins tonight with news across America where deputies in Florida say they've arrested a bank robber who used a cab as his getaway car. Detectives say the suspect took the taxi to the SunTrust Bank in Fort Lauderdale and asked the driver to wait for him while he went inside. He then reportedly robbed the place and took off in the cab. The driver says he got suspicious after the suspect started acting nervously and asked him to speed up. Police arrested the suspect after they tracked down that cab. Embattled evangelical leader Ted Haggard was forced out of his church today amid allegations that he had sex with a male prostitute. Officials at the New Life Church in Colorado say they conducted an investigation and found that the reverend had engaged in sexually immoral conduct, they say. A man who describes himself as an escort says Haggard paid him for sex during the last 3 years. Haggard admits he paid the man for a massage and for meth, but he denies having sex with him. Haggard resigned as president of the influential National Association of Evangelicals 2 days ago. A radio talk show host in Boston has been fired for referring to a Massachusetts gubernatorial candidate in a derogatory way. John DePetro used a slur to refer to Green Party candidate Grace Ross's sexuality and her weight. Grace, who is gay, called the comment offensive. She hopes it might help set a new standard for political debate. The Boston Globe reports that Petro ended up calling Ross to apologize. Fire investigators are trying to figure out how an indoor flea market caught on fire in Kansas. Fire crews responded to the 3-alarm blaze last night. Flames were seen shooting from the building, and authorities were forced to evacuate the area around the fire. The building's owner says he evicted the tenant more than a month ago. He says they didn't leave, and so he shut off the building's electricity. No one was hurt.
Some students in Florida may have hacked into their school's computer system and changed their grades. A staff member noticed discrepancies in the grades last week and called police. Now the sheriff's office is working with the district to find out what happened. Many students are angry that classmates may have cheated.
I'll be pretty mad. Yeah, because I pretty much just put effort into my work and they didn't. So they'll probably get more credit in class than I would.
The district's 262,000 students will get their first report cards Monday, and officials say some of those grades may be inaccurate. Hazmat crews had a big mess on their hands in Arizona today after a Federal Express truck carrying corrosive acid crashed on the interstate. Authorities say the accident happened when a car crossed the median and hit the oncoming pickup, which then smashed into the FedEx truck. The FedEx truck was hauling 55-gallon drums of the acid. All 3 vehicles caught on fire. Crews had to close down the freeway for hours while they cleaned the acid off the road. Well, police in Arizona arrested a man after a high-speed chase, and they say he had 8 undocumented workers in the car. It all began last night when police tried to pull over the driver, who is also an illegal immigrant. He instead sped off, reaching speeds topping 110 miles per hour. The driver eventually pulled off the road but took off on foot. A police dog found him hiding in a nearby tree. He was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Authorities say there were 6 adults and 2 children still in the car.
A 5-year-old trick-or-treater struck gold while sorting through his Halloween loot this year. In addition to the usual candy bars, lollipops, and gum, the boy had somehow managed to snag a man's gold diamond wedding ring. The boy's parents, who were sorting through the candy with him, immediately called police, who picked it up and put the word out that they were in search of the owner. Well, yesterday, a man who lives near the family claimed the ring. It apparently fell off his finger while he was handing out treats. Doctors in Miami performed a life-saving surgery where they gave a woman not just 1, but 6 new organs. The woman had her first regular meal yesterday since the rare transplant surgery that replaced her digestive system. She became sick more than a year ago after suffering from what she thought was a severe stomach ache. That's when doctors found out she had short gut syndrome and needed surgery right away.
I got a multi-visceral transplant here. 6 brand new organs. Stomach, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, spleen, and liver.
About 300 of these transplants have been done worldwide, half of them at the Miami hospital. It's a test drive unlike any you've seen. Flying Ace Snoopy, Pikachu, and the other Macy's Thanksgiving Day hot air balloons hit the skies around Giant Stadium in New Jersey. It's Macy's annual Balloon Fest. It's a huge practice run for the Macy's parade. Balloon Fest gives the handlers a chance to test drive the newest balloons before their Thanksgiving debut.
In world news tonight, thousands of people took to the streets across Taiwan today demanding that their president step down following embezzlement charges. Yesterday, prosecutors indicted the president's wife and 3 presidential aides on embezzlement, forgery, and perjury charges. They also say they have enough evidence to indict the president after he leaves office. Under Taiwanese law, a sitting president is immune from such charges. The president has said that he will respond to the protesters within the next 2 days. Iran continues its public show of military might. The country is in day 3 of a 10-day war game exercise. The war games included some 30,000 ground forces testing missiles and anti-personnel weapons. State television reported several types of missiles were tested, including one which could reach Israel. The United Nations Security Council is still debating over punishment for Iran's refusal to stop uranium enrichment. An Italian photographer kidnapped in Afghanistan is home tonight, just 1 day after his release. The Italian defense minister greeted Gabriele Torsello at the airport in Rome. Torsello was kidnapped on October 12th while traveling by bus near Kandahar. He'll be questioned by anti-terrorism investigators in Rome before heading to his family's house in southern Italy. His kidnappers had asked for the withdrawal of Italy's 1,800 troops from Afghanistan.
In tonight's high-tech threat, a Florida teenager has made nearly $1 million selling fake items on eBay. Now experts say you can avoid similar scams. They say you should compare websites and learn as much as you can about the product and about the seller. And they warn, never pay with cash.
If you can pay with your credit card, that's always a good way because you do have some protection. Because if you don't get your product and within you get your statement, then you can go back and notify your credit card company, and you have some recourse there.
They say you especially need to be careful during the holiday season when scams are more likely.
The Final Cut gets pumped up now with a weighty controversy over too much noise in the gym. KPTV's David Freitas has more from the Fox 12 mobile newsroom.
When you lift this sandbag, it weighs about 20 pounds, you may not make any noise, but when you lift hundreds of pounds, you may grunt. Well, apparently one man grunted a little too loudly at a gym in upstate New York and ended up getting kicked out. He says he was lifting about 500 pounds on the squat machine. Says he may have grunted, but he doesn't know because he had headphones on. But his gym has a rule against grunting, and when the manager heard him, she kicked him out. They say grunting intimidates other people working out there, and they want their gym to be a, quote, judgment-free zone. Weightlifters we talk to don't buy it.
You're going to go to a gym if you're lifting weights, you're going to be grunting. A lot of people bring their iPods and detract from that. Plus, that music always playing. If anything, I would be offended by somebody who wasn't clean and smelled.
Many gyms do have rules about behavior. You may want to check with your own the next time you go to max on your bench press. From the Fox 12 Mobile News, from David Freitas, the 10 o'clock news.
School districts across the country are telling students you'll have to pay to play. Shrinking budgets mean schools can't pay for extracurricular activities. And it's not just athletics. Students are being forced to pay for clubs and service-oriented activities. Parents worry they won't be able to afford the fees, and they say it's better than the alternative, though.
No one's happy with fees. But it's a better choice than having the clubs go away.
Pay to play has survived court challenges in the past, but a New Jersey legislator is proposing a law to ban fees altogether.
Tonight, Hollywood is buzzing as the former star of Doogie Howser comes out. Doogie Howser star Neil Patrick Harris tells People magazine he is gay. He says he wants to set the record straight after recent rumors about his sexuality. The TV star says he is, quote, quite proud and, quote, a very content gay man. 33-year-old Harris got his big break playing teenage genius Doogie Howser, MD, in the early 1990s. Anna Nicole remains hospitalized tonight, recovering from a collapsed lung. She checked into the Bahamas hospital Monday for pneumonia. It's the same hospital where Smith's son died while visiting her after the birth of her daughter in September. A private examiner says Daniel died of a lethal combination of methadone and antidepressants.
Actor Wesley Snipes is no longer a fugitive from the law. Snipes has reached an agreement with the IRS on tax fraud charges. He will surrender to authorities when he returns from Namibia, where he's shooting a movie right now. But he won't go to jail. Instead, he agreed to a payment plan for the nearly $12 million in false tax refunds that he claimed back in the late 90s. They may not be able to vote, but hip-hop mogul Russell Simmons thinks kids can get their parents excited about it. Simmons is appearing in a short cartoon about voting. The film encourages children to push their parents to the polls on Tuesday. He tells kids to remind their parents of all the taxes they have to pay. The 5-minute cartoon will be shown in schools around the country. And that's Fox 12's Final Cut for tonight.
I'm Matt Smith. Ahead in sports, the Blazers staged their home opener, but the national anthem was a lot easier on the eyes. Plus, Oregon State follows up on its upset win over USC. Hang on to your helmet. Sports is up next.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
With local elections now here,
You need a local station
that'll cover the important issues.
and statewide candidates.
Only one station will have the most coverage on election night.
Fox 12 Oregon, from the first ballot counted
To the last acceptance speech.
There's only one place with wall-to-wall coverage on election night.
Coverage starts Tuesday night at 8 on Fox 12 Oregon. First, live, local.
Here's what respected Oregon newspapers say about Measure 42 to ban the use of credit information in insurance.
The McMinnville News Register says Measure 42 is a bad idea that will raise insurance rates for people with good credit to subsidize others.
The Eugene Register Guard says 42 is poorly written and full of unintended consequences.
The Hillsborough Argus warns that premiums could go up for the 60 to 70% of Oregonians with good credit.
The Bend Bulletin says we don't want to pay more for insurance. No on 42.
Man, this thing is smunchy. Smunchy? Soft, melty, crunchy. It's smunchy.
I'm thinking Craffelty. Crunchy, soft, melty.
No, it's more about crunchy, chewy, cheesy. How about
Crunchy Wheezy? I love you.
Awkward.
I love you.
Taco Bell's Cheesy Gordita Crunch. Warm flatbread covered in 3 melted cheeses, wrapped around a crunchy taco and topped with a zesty pepper jack sauce. For a textural taste sensation, think outside the bun.
Big rushing attack for the Ducks. So why was today's game against the Huskies too close for comfort? We'll take you there coming up on the 10 o'clock news.
When your check engine light is on, it can cause concern. Is it a small problem or a large one? Put your mind at ease. Bring it to AMCO. Whatever it is, nobody can find it or fix it better. Check engine light on? Get it checked for free. At AMCO. AA MCO.
Late night Saturday, Nelly Furtado goes mad.
I think I had a furtado at Taco Bell.
Mad TV's all new.
Tonight at 11 on Fox 12 Oregon. Fox 12 goes to extreme measures to keep your kids safe Monday on the 10 o'clock news.
Oregon's waited a long time for results from Ted Kulongoski. But Ted's time is up. Newspapers call Kulongoski a no-show governor who has not stepped up to lead. Ron Saxton will change Oregon with education reform, more money into classrooms, a focus on results. He'll hold the line on taxes, cut waste, control spending, with leadership, not partisanship. Kulongoski won't make the changes Oregon needs, but you can. Ron Saxton for governor.
Welcome back. A capacity crowd at the Rose Garden tonight for the Blazers home opener against the Timberwolves, and they got things started with Storm Large singing the national anthem. The local singer recently featured on the TV show Rockstar. As for the game, Blazers down by 16 in the first half, but here in the fourth, Martell Webster knocking down back-to-back threes, and Portland took the lead 77-74. Webster scored 16 tonight. Moments later, Travis Outlaw, outstanding tonight, goes right over Kevin Garnett. Outlaw led Portland with 18 points and 15 rebounds. With 3 minutes to go, Minnesota retakes the lead on Ricky Davis's three-pointer. Blazers down by 1 with 6.2 seconds on the clock. Juan Dixon, bam, game over. Blazers rally to beat the Timberwolves 88-86. They keep doing this, the Rose Garden will be sold out every night.
That's what we play for, is for the fans. And when you have that opportunity to play in front of your fans, you know, give these fans something to come back for.
Everybody was in this game. Everybody was ready when their name was called. And, you know, fortunately, when the ball came me and Juan's way, when we knocked those shots down.
Hopefully this shows them, you know, with their support, you know, we can do a lot of special things. So if they can turn out like that every night and we can get that type of effort, it'll be a great season.
Well, today the Oregon Ducks managed to beat the Huskies in spite of quarterback Dennis Dixon. Oregon had a stellar running game offsetting Dixon's mistakes. Anytime the Ducks face the Huskies, it's a must-win situation. Patrick Chung helping Oregon's cause midway through the opening quarter. 15 59-yard punt return for the touchdown. Ducks on top 7-0, just like that. Problem is, Dennis Dixon set up Washington with a pair of interceptions in the first and third quarters. Dixon has less than 150 yards passing in each of the last 4 games, and the 2 picks today resulted in Washington's only touchdowns. This third quarter Huskies score cut Oregon's lead to 3. Fortunately, Oregon had a running game. Jonathan Stewart leading the way, 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. As a team, the Ducks rushed for 316 yards, and they beat Washington 34-14. At Reeser, the Beavers hosting Arizona State. Early on, OSU got a pair of rushing touchdowns from Evanson Bernard. The second one here, Beavers led 17-0 after 1 quarter. In the second, Matt Moore rolls out, finds Anthony Wheat-Brown in the end zone. By halftime, OSU had a commanding 31-10 lead. Big numbers for receiver Sammy Stroughter. He had 6 catches for 116 yards, a lot of it right here, the 49-yarder helping set up a Beavers field goal. Once they got Stroughter down, the game continued. How about OSU redshirt freshman Tony Carrasco? Closing minutes of the game, loses his helmet on the way to his first ever OSU touchdown. Beavers roll past Arizona State 44-10. USC rebounding from that OSU loss last week with a 42-0 rout. Cal holds off UCLA today, and Arizona upsets Wazoo 27-17. The PSU Vikings had a date in Flagstaff with Northern Arizona. After nearly blowing an 18-point lead, the Vikings hang on to win. PSU now 5-2 in conference, and their playoff hopes are still alive. In McMinnville, Linfield loses its first conference game since 2001, and Willamette beats Lewis and Clark 61-14 was the final there. We can also tell you tonight in high school football, Skyview hosting its first ever playoff game, and Skyview comes up with a big win over South Kitsap. Michael Lake getting it done for the team tonight, so big win as Skyview plays its first ever playoff game, and they come up with the win tonight, 21-15. Big stuff for Skyview this evening.
All right, Matt, thanks. Before we go, we do have some breaking news to cover tonight.
That's right. A Multnomah County search and rescue team is in the area of Larch Mountain right now looking for a missing hiker. The search started around 7:30 this evening. And, of course, we'll have the very latest on this search tomorrow morning on Good Day Oregon Sunday.
In the meantime, thanks for joining us tonight. Don't miss Good Day Oregon tomorrow.
Good night.
Thank you for watching the 10 o'clock news, rated Portland's #1 primetime newscast. Then tomorrow, turn to the 5 o'clock news here on Fox 12 Oregon. News that's first, live, and local. Bitter rivals slug it out when the Cowboys battle the Redskins. Sunday at 10 on Fox 12 Oregon.
He brought our schools back from the worst funding crisis in decades, moved millions of dollars from administrative overhead into the classroom, and increased college scholarships 30%. Ted Kulingoski. Nobody fights harder to improve our schools. His education enterprise plan will mean smaller class sizes, better teacher training, and up-to-date textbooks, and it'll finally guarantee stable funding for schools. Ted Kulingoski. Other politicians get more attention, but no governor gets more done.
Well, hi, this is John from Dick Hanna Kia, where if you've got a job, you've got a brand new car, whatever your credit history.
Good credit, bad credit, or no credit.
$99 down and $149 a month. You could be driving an 06 Spectra.
$99 down.
And just $149 a month.
Our goal is simple.
To get you a great car.
And to simply sell it for less. Dick Hanna Kia with the power to surprise.
Come see us today in a giant Vancouver Auto Mall.
Dick Hanna Kia, where we want to
see ya in a Kia.
Hi, Crazy Tim here with crazy deals on PCs and laptops. $199 for a laptop. Yes, a Pentium laptop, $199. Not good enough? How about this one? Major name brand system, $299, complete with everything. Call us at 646-1776. That's 646-1776. Or try us on the web at budcom.com.
Get a P3 laptop for only $399 and get a major name brand P4 laptop for just $699.
Sell your vehicle on carsoup.com and get ready. Things start to happen fast. Full color pictures and all the information about your vehicle quickly find their way to thousands of local buyers. They get interested, they get in touch, and before you know it, for sale turns into sold. Sell your vehicle on CarSoup. It works. Smarter search, better results. carsoup.com. Selling a car, truck, motorcycle, or even an RV? Get results for just $25 till it sells, only at carsoup.com.
Who's the man, baby? Got me some cash.
We came to Northwest Title Loans to get fast cash for our weekend getaway.
For an unexpected bill.
To get cash,
back in my pocket.
It only took about 15 minutes.
And all I needed was a clean and clear car title, plus a valid ID.
There were no hassles and no credit checks.
They wanted our business.
And I still have my car.
Northwest Title Loans.
Helping me get the cash I need.
Or whatever.
Interest-free for 30 days with no payment for 60 days.
Tonight on Mad TV.
Of exquisite amenities. For more details, visit them on the web or come tour their on-site showroom. The Waterside, life with a view.
Helen's a Seen on TV show, absolutely free Monday.